Welcome to another episode of the Muscle Hustle Podcast. I'm your girl, Cokes.
I'm Ken.
Make sure to subscribe at the Muscle Hustle Podcast on all social media platforms. We're talking Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon, Apple, you name it, we're on it. Also, make sure to subscribe on our YouTube channel. Click. Link below. Appreciate all y'all for tuning in. Today, we have our next guest. Very, very, very inspirational person to me. He is a content creator, a food blogger. He used to fly, y'all. Okay, but I feel like he pretty much wanted to connect his world experiences through food. All right, he is also a food blogger as well, if I haven't already mentioned that. Mr. Rashad Giles.
Hello.
Hello.
How y'all doing?
We got a lot to talk about.
We do. Let's talk about it.
Look. You see the display, y'all?
Right, I want the chinky wings already.
But you feel hungry, boy ass. Okay, so let's just jump right into it.
Yeah.
All right, content creator.
Mm-hmm.
What is your definition of a content creator?
Someone who creates content. No, I mean, I think that a content creator should create content that is not only informative but entertaining, and that's my goal through content creation.
Okay.
So I want to teach you how to cook, but I want you to be entertained while you do it.
And would you consider yourself an actual cook or?
You know, when I
Chef?
kind of started it, I feel like the title chef was kind of like pushed on me because people were like, "Oh, you cook, you're a chef." I've never worked in a restaurant. I've never gone to culinary school, and I've started like a catering business just because I was working with someone who needed help, and then I was like, "Oh, I can do this," and then they're like, "Oh, Chef Rashad." So I was like, "I can cook, and I want to teach you how to cook." So no, I'm not technically a chef.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
And originally, you are not from Houston.
No,
You are from.
I'm originally from Minnesota.
Okay.
But I've lived a lot of places.
World traveler.
Come on now. I lived a lot of places, not internationally, hopefully one day. But I moved from Minnesota to Atlanta, back to Minnesota, Chicago, Vegas, Miami, back to Atlanta, and then now Houston.
Okay.
I'm tired. I'm done.
That's what's up. And so your desire to the food.
Mm-hmm.
Being a food blogger, being a content creator that is focusing on mainly food, where did that inspiration come from?
Like from young, I've always kind of wanted a cooking show.
Okay.
And now it's becoming like more of a reality, like it's about to be a thing. Okay. My dad is actually a chef. He went to culinary school. My brother was a chef. He went to culinary school, but I stayed away from the kitchen. Like, I mean, I would cook at home, but my dad was like a Gordon Ramsay, like yelling, throwing things in the kitchen. I was like, I don't want to associate that with food. But I've always been a fan of food. And then Rashad Eats the World kind of started during the pandemic. I used to like take pictures of the food that I ate, like while traveling. So whether it be like for work or pleasure. And everyone's like, you should start posting it. And I'm like, really? I don't know. But I started doing that. But then the pandemic happened and we couldn't go anywhere. So then I started making the food that I would like explore and get on my layovers. And that's how Rashad Eats the World was born.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm making sense now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Balancing the different multiple, I would say like as far as being able to create within the digital space, right? The different avenues of pushing your brand.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's Instagram, what other, you have a website as well too, right?
Not at the moment.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
but you will.
Yeah.
Okay, and other platform avenues as well too. How are you able to maneuver and kind of like?
It's tough. Just because like we'll take TikTok and Instagram.
There's a lot.
Yeah, and they're two different audiences, and then there's YouTube on top of that. There's like long form content, then short form content, then curated content, and then raw content. And I was like, I want to work smarter, not harder, but I had to kind of figure out my audience on each platform. So Instagram is it's a little more curated. It's like, you know, transitions. It's a little more romance versus like TikTok. Versus like TikTok is a little more raw. So sometimes you'll find different content of mine on TikTok where I'm just like talking to the camera. I might not even have my phone on a tripod. It was just like I'm going.
Really?
Yeah. And then YouTube is it's a whole nother beast.
So this becomes less of a hobby and more of like a job at this point, right? Because that's a lot of time
hmm
to be analyzing what's what on each platform. That's work.
It's tough. And one of my fears kind of coming into it, because I mean, it's still fun, but I didn't want to take the fun out of it.
Mm.
And that's one of the reasons why I like never wanted to work in a restaurant. I never wanted to feel like a job. I still want to help people and inform and like teach, but I don't want it to feel like, oh, I have to clock in and then prepare food and clock out. Cause I feel like it's gonna take the fun out of it and the creativity because you want somebody else's time.
That's true.
hmm
You ever thought about becoming a chef?
Me? Man, I can do anything. Nah, I just cook. I don't want to be
Cook.
no chef.
You boil water.
Huh? Nah.
I mean, sometimes you gotta boil water to cook something.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Nah. My brother's the cook, so that's cool.
Yeah. Shout outs to Kendrick.
So I don't have to cook. No. So you said as a kid, your dad was a chef,
hmm
and your brother was a chef.
yeah,
So you went the opposite route.
the complete opposite.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, it's funny too. Like people, and I mean, like, my dad does inspire me,
Mhm.
but people are like, oh, well, I mean, because your dad's a chef, and I'm like, my dad barely cooked for us. He still barely cooks for us now because it was a job for him.
Right.
Like he's passionate about food, but when he left work, he would call and say, "What y'all want from the restaurant?"
Mm.
Not like, "Oh, I'm coming home to
Yeah.
make this." It was
Yeah,
just
You've been
like,
cooking all day.
yeah.
Yeah.
But as much as I ran away, like food was still in me, and I couldn't, I
can't
couldn't
deny
resist.
that.
Nah.
So when you say food blogger,
Mhm.
right? In separation between that and content creation. Obviously, we know content and stuff you're putting out there, but as a blogger, right, specifically for food,
Mhm.
how did you get into that?
It was the same kind of way, and that's kind of how my cookbook was born.
Okay.
Because I was like sharing recipes on my website that I had before. Excuse me, and I would have to like write a story about it,
Mhm.
and I was like, wait a minute, this is a thing. And I had always wanted a cookbook, but I didn't know where to start. And then I had the opportunity and I took a step back and I'm like, oh, what do I do? And I'm like, wait, you have all this content from when you were blogging. Like, all you have to do is put that in a book. And so that's how we got there.
Would it be more, you have an ebook as well too, or just?
Yes, it's an
Okay.
ebook as well.
Okay.
So where's the book located? Is it in bookstores or anything like that, or just online?
It's just online right now. But when you order, you have the option of ordering a hard copy or an ebook.
Okay.
The publishing company I'm working with, they work with influencers. And I mean, it's smart on their behalf because you kind of have like a built in marketing strategy.
Mhm.
You
Okay.
have followers who you speak to every day. And so you say, I have this product, and they don't have to do anything but put the book together.
Yeah.
So yeah, the company I'm working with is called Found. And so yeah, it's on their website along with a whole bunch of other content creators, like food content creators
Okay.
who have books as well.
Okay.
Mhm.
Don't say just. You're like,
You know, you're right. You're right
yeah,
about that.
you gotta toot that because seriously, you've been doing your thing. I've seen your social media. I've seen the way that you actually put content out. I've seen your presence. Your vibe is dope, seriously. And honestly, yeah, don't none of that just stuff.
Oh, you're right. You're
So
right
as
about
a
that.
as a chef or as a cook, whatever you want to call yourself,
Mhm.
who influenced you? Like
Like
different
in the
chefs or in the
industry.
industry. 'Cause there's a lot
Um
of urban chefs now.
there
And
is
even like people in your shoes where they didn't go to culinary school, but
Mhm.
they killing the
Popping.
game.
Yeah.
You know.
yeah. One chef that really inspires me is Tiffany Dairy. I don't know if you guys are familiar.
Okay.
She's actually a Texan. Like she she lives in Dallas. She has a couple
Okay.
restaurants there. But she studied abroad in like Southeast Asia, and that's where a lot of her inspiration comes from. And I always think if I were on like a cooking competition and they were like, make something with these ingredients, it would probably be something Asian.
Really?
Okay.
And that reminds me of her because when I watch her cook, that's like where she really gets into her bag. And you know, I don't know if y'all seen it, but I just recently
You go ahead.
We getting
See?
there. We gonna
Okay,
get
no, go ahead.
Okay, but I am the regional champ for the Louisiana Fish Fry Fried Chicken Sandwich Challenge.
Okay.
And I did a Thai-inspired chicken sandwich. And
Okay.
I was like, okay, because we had to present it online first.
Did you bring some?
No, I had to bring something from the book. We're gonna talk about the book
Yeah,
too.
I know. He had to work.
Yeah, but I was like, I want to make something that's gonna be different. That's not gonna be like anybody else's because it's a fried chicken sandwich. And like the whole point of that campaign is to show how like your homemade chicken sandwich can stand up to the competitors. So
Gotcha.
like Chick-fil-A, KFC.
Oh,
stuff
so it's
like
one
that.
of those type
Mhm.
chicken sandwiches, not like a po' boy.
No.
Okay.
But I did a Thai-inspired chicken sandwich, and it had like a spicy Thai herb salad and like a creamy spicy aioli, and it was just like real Asian, and it was something I'd never made before.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So
But
you
I
did an
just
Italian chicken sandwich,
Thai.
a Thai,
Mm-hmm.
and it was. And you said it was not Italian based, right? You didn't say Italian. I thought you were saying
No,
Italian.
no, Thai, like Thailand.
Thailand. I thought
Mhm.
you were saying Italian. That's why I'm like, huh? That don't even.
I mean, that's a hell of a
ingredients don't-
fusion.
right, yeah, I was about to say that don't even go together, but to each his own. Okay, that's dope.
Yeah.
And so you won.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
I
what's
won.
next?
So in October, I go to New York and I compete against someone from, I believe it's like New York, Chicago, LA, Baltimore,
So they did
and
hubs.
Atlanta. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Dope.
Okay. All right.
Is it
That
on-
makes sense
It's
now.
on TV or just
No, it won't be on TV. It'll be like super social media
okay
based.
Cool. That's still good.
But I'm excited, and I
There's
mean,
a lot of people.
I don't doubt myself.
Uh-huh.
But I'm going to this. I know I got a chance.
Okay.
Because the people in Houston, they were really good. But again, entering that competition, it was strategic. Because I was like, it's a fried chicken sandwich. I already know where people's minds are going. And as I watched the entries, now I was the first one to enter.
Okay.
But as I watched the entries, I was like, knew you were gonna do that. Yep, knew that was coming.
Read y'all.
Knew that. I was like, nothing is
y'all.
going to be like this. And then watching the entries from the other cities, I hope this clip doesn't come and they be like, he was talking. But again, watching the entries from the other cities, I'm like, knew that was coming.
Right.
Knew that was coming. So
Were you able to see the competition from the other cities as well too?
Mhm.
Like how that worked out? Okay. So
Yeah.
that's what you meant by you knew that was coming and all
Mhm.
that. Okay. That makes sense now.
So they've gone to LA. So I saw the LA winner, and then it was Houston. And then I believe next week is New Orleans. Oh, that's another one too. I was a little nervous about New Orleans,
Right,
but
right,
I was
right,
like, I got this.
And what's the name of that one called? Like what is it called again? That platform?
Louisiana Fish Fry.
Okay.
So they make like the crab boils
Yeah.
and like the fish fry stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where was that competition at? It seemed packed.
Station 3, something in the Heights.
Okay.
It was time. It was a good time.
It looked like it. I'm
So y'all had to cook the food out there.
So they actually cooked it for us. Excuse me. We submitted the recipe, and they made it because we'd have been like constantly cooking sandwiches.
Oh.
Yeah.
So basically, y'all had to do like a taste test. Well,
Mhm.
we cooked them in.
Yeah. So we made it. We created the recipe, and then submitted it, and then they
Damn,
recreated
so one
it.
fuck up,
Right.
that'll mess you all the way up.
Listen, no, I'll say this. No one was really happy with their sandwich when we finally got to taste it,
For real.
including me. But I was like, it wasn't spot on, but it was close.
Yeah.
But we were all looking. I wish you could have seen everyone's faces. They're like, what is this? What
Like
the fuck is
depending
this?
on somebody else to pretty
Yeah.
much bring your recipe to life.
But then it was like, okay, how much do I trust myself as a chef? Because I wrote this recipe. And if you followed it correctly, you should get what I got.
So you felt like yours was at least close enough. Like
It was close enough. It
Okay.
wasn't it,
right.
but it was close enough.
Okay.
Close enough to make me win.
Right. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Okay. So hustle mentality and being able to push your brand out.
Mhm.
Right. Let's talk a little bit about that. Like we pretty much like to give flowers where it's due for those that pretty much showcase whatever industry it is, right? That hustle, that drive, that grind, right? To basically be able to put whatever it is that you're doing out there to the public, because it's not easy, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of people like to fluff and put that info as if like, oh yeah, I know I woke up like this. No, you didn't.
No.
You know what I mean? So can we talk a little bit about, I don't like saying struggles, but that's pretty much what it is. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, you know, just the good and the bad
bottom.
of being able to
Start.
put your brand
Grassroots.
out there. What struggles did you have to?
Feel like I'm still at the bottom.
No, you're not.
So
Do you feel like that? You feel like you're still at the bottom?
I still like I'm still climbing my way to the top.
Okay. Why is that?
It's just because there's so much that I want to do.
Mm.
And it's funny that you say that. I had to like take a moment a few weeks ago and be like, all right, Rashad, I know you have other goals, but you just wrote a cookbook. Like you are a published author. You have grown your platform from 0 to tens of thousands of people. Like give yourself some credit. But sometimes I get so hyper focused on like the bigger picture.
Yeah.
That I sometimes lose that. But when I started, I was still flying, and that's when I was getting pushed into like the caterer route.
Okay. And so you did do that as well too. Okay.
And I was like, but I want to do the catering. I want to do content creation. And I remember talking to one of my friends, and I'm like, I'm nervous because I know that I can't do both. Flying was like super secure. Like I got travel benefits, I was being paid, I had health benefits, and now I was gonna like bet on myself 100%. And I was talking to my friend, and I'm
Scary,
like,
ain't it? I said it's scary, ain't it?
Oh, so scary. I'm still scared. But I was like, what if this all goes south?
But what if it go good?
And that's what she said. She said, what if you fly? And I was like, you're right. And I like teeter-tottered for an entire year. And I was like, I'm gonna do it. I was calling out. I was like, no, I'm not going to work. I'm gonna put my 2 weeks in. And I was like, oh, rent is due. And I got to a point where I was just like, I don't know. If it's meant to be, it'll be. And I ended up getting fired.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, from the airline. And I never understood when they said like it feels like a weight is being lifted off your shoulders. When we had when that phone call was off, I took a deep breath and I was like, all right, I'm free. I can really do what I want.
Was it the first time getting fired?
No.
Oh, okay.
Nah. That was the first time being fired from like a big boy job.
Big
though.
job. You said big boy. Yeah, McDonald's and stuff don't count.
Nah. But yeah, there's definitely like some ups and downs. So with that, I had to like depend on myself like 100%. And so I was like, in the beginning, I was like, okay, go, 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 no days off. And I feel like I got to a point where I was coasting. And then it was like, no, you still gotta go, go, go. You still gotta hustle. And I say one of the biggest struggles has been like financially. Because if I don't get up, if I don't put that content out, if I don't talk about my book, then it doesn't get sold.
Yep.
And then I got to a point where I was just kind of like doubting myself, like, can you really do this?
How do you get yourself out of that mentality? How did you get yourself out of that mentality? Or would you say that you're still in and out?
I was definitely having like imposter syndrome, like maybe about like a month ago, because the book was about to come out, and I'm like, what if no one buys it? I was like switching some stuff up in my content, like the style, because I'm incorporating more travel. And it was like I have like some clients I do like meal prep for and stuff. And my client was like, we're gonna take a 3-month break. And that was like my bread and butter. Cause like if I'm not making money from content, like I'm cooking for people.
Gotcha.
And I got like real comfortable in that. And she was like, we're gonna take a 3-month break. And I was like, a 3-month break? I was literally about to sign a new lease. I was like, that was my income.
Gotcha.
And anything else was extra. And then I remember I like treated myself to something, and then Apple took all that they take. And I was just like stuck. And I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And I walked in the house and I was like, hey, if I say it's gonna, the person on your phone,
Mm-hmm.
if I say it's gonna play it.
Mm.
But I was like, hey, play music. And it played Ways by Janae Aiko. And like I heard the song 1,000,001 times, but at this point it made the most sense.
Sense to you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And basically what she was saying is that the journey, like there's no end and there's no beginning. Like, and you have to enjoy it.
All of it.
Like all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and in my head, when people say enjoy the journey, I'm like, okay, because I'm getting to a destination. But once you get there, there's always something more.
More, yep.
Just like I was like, I want a cookbook. And then I got the cookbook, but then I'm just like, okay, now I want a show, like a syndicated TV show on television.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really that was like a real pivotal moment for me where I was just like, slow down, enjoy the journey. Think about where you've come from and where you are now.
That part.
Mm-hmm.
And you've come from a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You've done a lot.
I'm sweating hot.
Got some napkins right there.
So we got the forks for the food and everything. We ready.
We was ready. We was ready. The book.
Mm-hmm.
What is it called?
It is called Rashad Eats the World.
Rashad Eats the World.
Using your palate as a passport.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Very creative.
Thank you. So the goal of it is to take you on a journey around the world, like through your palate. So there's 4 chapters. The first one is called Home.
Okay.
And that's the food that I grew up eating. So it's going to be like US based. And then we go to the Caribbean. And then we go to Latin America and also Asia. So they're like...
Asia's the last one.
Actually, Latin America's the last
Okay,
one.
okay.
But it's just like my rendition of recipes that, things that I've tried over the years, things that I've tried on during travel, that I've recreated myself and made my own recipes from. Yeah.
How many recipes?
recipes?
How many recipes per chapter?
Or in total?
In total, it's about like 56, 57.
Okay.
50 some meals.
Uh-huh.
Buy the damn book.
Yeah, for sure.
Today.
Where can they get that?
You can find it on found.com/Rashad Eats the World, or you can click the link in my bio on all of my social media, and it's right there.
Actually, go ahead and give them your social media as well, too.
Yes. On all platforms, I am at Rashad Eats the World.
So what is next for you?
The cooking show, he just said.
Yeah, the cooking show.
How soon is that?
I'm trying to do it tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. That's why I was asking you about the studio. I'm like, so y'all rent this or what?
We'll give you information.
Yeah.
For real.
I want to do it. I've done like like some segments, and one thing about it, I'm just like, in my head, things were supposed to be like one way. But what I'm learning is that it's not always going to go or always be the exact vision that you have it. Adapt. So like, people have told me like, create your own avenue. Because I'm like, Food Network. And there's like, but you can do anything you want to on YouTube without anyone's approval.
Especially nowadays.
Mm-hmm. And so that's the route I'm going to go.
For entrepreneurs too, is for them to realize the fact that one way is not just it's not Bible.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Especially nowadays, there's way too many opportunities to be able to pursue. Way too much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely what I'm learning now. It's like, and also I feel like I was like waiting for my big break, and I had to come to terms. It's like, that might not be my story. Like, you're going to have to work hard to get to where you want to be. Yeah.
So, content creator, food blogger, you also do meal preps as well, too.
I do.
Right? Would you say that you're also still catering?
Mm-hmm.
You are?
I'm catering on Sunday.
Okay. All right. What's like the, what is it, like amount of people? Like the biggest party that you had?
The biggest party I've ever done was 300 people.
That's when you should have called on people from that contest to cook all your food.
Listen, took me out. I was like...
Did you have help?
You had a ghost kitchen? Did you have to use a ghost
No,
kitchen?
I did it all out of my home kitchen.
Oh,
Say word.
Your life it was crazy.
But what I
you
like...
cook? Spaghetti?
There was a couple of pasta dishes.
I was about to say.
But I was going to say, that's what I learned, like, with learning from different people in the industry who have been like, oh, I need help on this gig. And I just jumped in because they're like, food, you can stir this, you can make this, you can plate this. Like I just learned little tricks on how, like, if I don't have any help, like what kind of recipe or menu can I curate to accommodate all these people that I can tackle myself.
So,
And I'm learning that my brother needs some help. I can't do everything by myself. Yeah.
So you're thinking about staffing, getting some help?
The goal is,
what would that look like?
To step away from like cooking for people. Unless it's like a curated dinner experience, but like I really don't want to cater.
Gotcha.
Unless it's like, I don't know, like Wolfgang Puck. He caters like literally all over the world. And he don't be in the kitchen. He just gets to show his face. And that's what I'm trying to do. That's goals right there.
The brand.
Yep. The brand.
I like that. Okay. Any inspirational tips or tips that you would give to other content creators, food bloggers or bloggers of all sorts, that if not currently in the situation or currently in the business, wants to get into the business of curating?
Just start. And like it sounds simple because it really is. Like just start and never stop trying to learn. I feel like I remember when I first started, I was like, oh, I'm going to do it, but when I get a tripod or when I get a light. Some of my first videos, my phone was literally like sitting on a toaster. And I have like bloopers of it falling in the toaster.
For real?
I had my phone in my mouth while I'm trying to like stir over a pot one time. But,
the phone fell in the pot.
Nah, thank God, because it was hot. But yes, just start and never stop learning. And you'll never know until you try.
Once again, go ahead and give them your handles and where they can find you.
Yes, you can find me on all platforms at Rashad Eats the World. And there you can purchase my book and see everything I have going on. Also, if you want to travel with me, make sure you click the link in the bio and fill out the survey. I'm hosting a foodie trip next year. Yeah.
Next year?
Next year.
Where?
So we haven't decided yet, but it's between, right now, Brazil is number 1, Bali is number 2, and what's the number 3?
Bali. We're going to go Bali.
Number 3, I can't remember, but it's somewhere that I've been before.
Put a survey up.
Yeah, but it's going to be, I'm the host. I'm working with a company called Travel Trips.
Okay.
And they work with like travel enthusiasts like myself, and it's going to be like foodie based. So there'll be some adventure, but like we're going to eat. Yeah, so I'm really excited about that. And I think that's going to be like the inspiration for the next book. Is like I want to travel some more because I'm already thinking about the next one.
And that's what I'm talking about. That hustle that I'm talking about.
Yeah. So yeah, so I got going
work
on.
don't stop. Well, I appreciate you coming in, sharing your experience thus far. I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you.
This ain't gonna be the last time you're gonna see us because we going on that trip too.
Come on.
When's that competition again?
It's like October 16th in New York.
That's the day after my mom's birthday. Okay. All right.
So a couple of days after my mom's.
That's the day of my mom's. Now to come to think of it.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
They all crazy too.
They're crazy Libras.
Crazy.
Love you, Mom.
Anyways. All right, guys, we're gonna fuck up this food.
Once again, make sure to subscribe at the Muscle Hustle Podcast, all social media platforms. Look, we hit 1K, y'all. 1K on IG. We're still growing. I think what we at 6 something now on YouTube. Steadily pushing the audio as well too. So appreciate all of y'all for tuning in and supporting. Click the link. Make sure to check out the merch as well too. What else we got going on? Oh, our first live stream is next week.
Yep.
Prepare.
You want to bring some more food?
Right.
I mean, I got some more recipes in the book.
Let's go. Let's go.
More food.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm Girl Cokes.
I'm Ken.
We out.